Welcome to the astrology report for the week of December the 11th to the 17th. And we're talking about a very lighthearted week, a nice break in what has been a very challenging sky over the last couple of weeks. Although last week's lucky sky was a bit better than most, and this one is as well. We're going to talk about how a really lovely flow between the planet Mercury and Venus, who's now traveling in Scorpio, can bring some really ease, goodness, and lighthearted and wonderful energy to your life on Monday and Tuesday into Wednesday. And then we also have a moon. We have our our Sagittarius new moon, and that's happening in the middle of the week, along with Mercury heading retrograde. There are videos out there by me for both of those topics in depth, so go check them out on my channel. We won't cover those again. At the end of the week, we get a square from the Sun to Neptune. That's a bit more challenging as the weekend comes, Saturday and Sunday, and we'll talk about what that might mean for you based on your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. But overall, this is a very positive week. It's a week where some good things can happen for all of us and a sense of ease and more enjoyment in life as well. So let's talk about a few details before we get going. If you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac, whole sign houses, fixed stars, and minor asteroids. And we will be talking today about a couple of asteroids, Quaoar, which is actually a trans-Neptunian body out in the Kuiper Belt, and it has how he's interacting with the sky. We'll talk a little bit about the asteroid Hygeia for health and hygiene, as well as the asteroid Wuhan, which I know you guys are wondering why we're talking about Wuhan, but it's for the collective story, not for you. If you're new to my channel, try me out, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. All my regulars, welcome back. Finally, if you want to get my 2024 All Signs bundle, I put it out every single year. It is 12 videos, 75 to 90 minutes each. It's a fundraising to buy things like my Yeti mic and other supplies I need, hire staff to help me out in my business as an astrologer. And so that content never goes public, and it's in depth, and it's something that you may want to purchase for $59 right now, and you get immediate access to those 12 videos, and it's a PDF with the links. And please feel free to share them with your friends and family, stocking stuffers, etc. That's fine with me. So as we get ready for this week ahead, I want you to draw your attention to the fact that Venus is moving through the sky, and I'm going to delineate this for you as Venus is moving through the sign of Scorpio, where she is not in her best form. Normally, Venus is more tries to be her best self in Scorpio, but it's a sign that belongs to Mars. We call that her being in her exile or her detriment, but it's really just still Venus, and she is a benefic planet, and she brings good things to us. I'm going to show you this guy so you can see what's up here, and you'll be able to look at it as well and see what I'm talking about. But it is this beautiful energy of creating flow to Mercury on Monday and Tuesday that I really, really like about the sky. You'll even feel it into Wednesday. When Mercury stations retrograde. I'm going to share the picture of the sky with you, and we're going to talk about world events as well. Now, this is called mundane astrology, and I do love mundane astrology, so I will lock and load a bit in the first 5-10 minutes about what I think the sky looks like for the collective, for the world, for politics, geopolitics, world events, and then we will move into your sign. Please listen for your rising sign. It's probably more accurate. It's more delineating everything about your life. Your sun sign can be about your career and your purpose, your father figures, and your moon can be about your mother figures, home and safety needs, emotions, and sometimes your body. So listen for the whole of each three if you like, but your sun sign is probably your rising sign is probably your best bet. And if you don't know how to get your rising sign, there's a free tutorial, how to cast your chart in whole sign houses, which also allows you to find your rising sign in my description box. And finally, I would also say to you that I'm using whole sign houses, as are all astrologers on YouTube. We're delineating as if the sky is made of the traditional whole sign houses. So you get confused if you look at your Placidus, just ignore it. Listen for your sun, moon, and rising. Don't look at your chart. Trust me, this is a whole sign house style of general astrology used by every astrologer on YouTube. So let's start talking now about the sky. I have it queued for Taurus rising. Doesn't really matter. It's really just to show you what's going on in the heavens. So we'll do a little annotation so you can see what's happening. This is December the 11th, and we'll annotate. And that means I'll just draw all over this thing. And here's Venus. She's traveling with Athena, the asteroid that represents strategy, wisdom, knowledge, victory in war. And she's sitting here in the sign that belongs to Mars, the warrior. And as you can see, Mercury right here is traveling with the trans-Neptunian Quaoar, or the Kuiper Belt object, Quaoar, and we're going to talk about what that might mean as well. And the two of them are in a conversation of flow. The connection between these two is called a sextile. It's ease, it's luck, it's goodness, it's the nature of Venus. It brings opportunities or soft landing, apparently, according to modern astrologers, where, you know, the opportunity doesn't foist itself upon you. You have to kind of seize the day a bit to recognize the moment and take advantage of it. But we'll talk about what that might mean for you as well. This is the beginning of the week, and really, it's really a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday flow between Venus and Mercury. And it's interesting because Venus is catching Mercury. She's the one, because he's so slow to getting ready to station retrograde on the 12th, 13th, depends on where you live, that he's barely moving at all, and she's catching him, which is an unusual circumstance because Mercury is a faster moving planet. So it's kind of an interesting Venus catching Mercury, which I want to see if that feels like a little different for all of us than the normal way a sextile happens. So what we call Venus is applying to Mercury and catching up to him to create that sextile. So Venus is the one creating the story. She's the dominatrix of the moment. Scorpio is a sign that can be about stealth, secrecy. It can be about investigation and looking deeper into a matter. And she is a goddess of peace. And so she may be trying to look in deeply or stealthily into a matter in order to affect a peaceful situation with strategy, Athena. And of course, where we have lack of peace in the world, we all know where that is, mostly in the Middle East, but it's also Ukraine and Russia and other places where Venus may be trying to work some magic with Mercury. Mercury would be compromise negotiations, deal-making, conversations going on, maybe behind the scenes of the world as well. You can see down here that there's this called the Star Maiden, Astraea. She's traveling with the Vestal flame of devotion and what you wish to really sacredly devote yourself to. But Vesta can be about, I mean, the Star Maiden can be about being a star, but it can also be about the part of you that doesn't want to give up on something. Like you're going to really hang in there for something, maybe too long sometimes. She was the long-suffering last goddess of Mount Olympus, not to abandon us humans. And so she's got that kind of a bodhisattva love of humanity, but also frustration and hanging in to help the hopeless humans, you know, that vibe. So where are you maybe also really digging in to not give up on something and keep to your course because you got a sacred duty or devotion to persevere in the Cancer part of your story, in the house that represents that, you know, 12 houses of your 12 pie slices of your 12 pie slice natal chart. Over here, you can see, and so for a Taurus rising, it's their third house. We'll delineate this. And you can see that this is opposite the Mercury Quaoar story. And this is an indication that which Quaoar can be doing something for one's tribe, for example. I'm going to read the delineation from my software in a minute, but it can be about, you know, doing something for one's tribe. Star Maiden tried to help humanity. There's this push-pull of wanting to do something that's, you know, greater than yourself. And there's this energy of tension between Cancer and Capricorn in your chart. And then Venus is breaking the tension in what's called a wedge. And she's pointing to the solution to tension, to where you can find the outpicturing of something useful in the axis of this tension here. If I was to say anything about the war in Palestine, Israel right now, or whatever, that is this happens to be the US. I mean, this happens to be Libra, where Israel has its ascendant. By the way, Iran, Joe Biden, USA, Netanyahu all have a Sagittarius ascendant. Mars is in the part of those people's and nations' ascendants. This can agitate for war because Mars is very warrior-like in the sign of Sagittarius. And he's also good for throwing airborne weapons, which are, of course, missiles. We have a lot of aggravation by Mars of those people's charts and those nations' charts, which does not comfort me, to say the least. And yet Venus is trying to do backroom stealthy deals. But in the chart of Israel, this is the second house, right, of the nation of Israel, which can indicate that there's something going on here to do with financial pressure that Venus would bring to bear on the nation of Israel. All I can think of is maybe the United States pulling out funding and or weapon support because they're, you know, asking for an ultimatum for peace, basically. or a ceasefire or whatever. Maybe that will happen Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And, don't forget strategy here. Strategy is Athena. Also, finally, I want to note that Wuhan is here. Now, Wuhan is with the sun, traveling beside the sun and Mars in the sign of Sagittarius. We've come to associate Wuhan with lab leaks in China in general. It's also a star that has to do with the overthrow of an emperor overthrow in Chinese history. And I believe Wuhan translates something like Cold War. So there is this energy of another war energy, Wuhan with Mars coming into contact with each other pretty darn well close to the United States of America, 12-degree Sibley chart, rising sign or ascendant degree. And I can't remember the details, but Netanyahu might be 7 degrees, that kind of thing. Maybe Joe Biden's 3 degrees, are all in this Iran. They're all in this part of the sky. This Wuhan thing might be about the situation with the pneumonia that's running rampant through the children population of China. And some people are calling it white pneumonia or mycoplasma, a bacterial infection that's going crazy. And I'm only going to bring that up because Hygeia, hygiene, everyone wear a mask, or health and medical situations, is talking to Wuhan right now in a sextile and also in a flowing relationship to the nodes of fate. All right, a sextile to the north node, Chiron the healer, and over here the south node. I think there's a lot of confusion about what that pneumonia is, and now we have some outbreaks in the Netherlands and different parts of the United States. So it's amongst children, and so there's maybe something to do with the post-COVID syndrome or post-vaccination syndrome. I don't know. They could lead people to have children to have less robust immune systems regarding fighting off lung infections. The lungs in astrology usually belong to Gemini, right over here. Nothing's happened over here, as lungs are just Gemini. The other thing is that my feeling is that this whole story with what's going on in China is important. Pluto will move into Aquarius in the new year, January 20th, which is the rising sign of the current nation of China from the chart that I'm using, where China also has its moon, which means the people. Pluto moon is not a good sign for January. Pluto is going to move onto the moon in the first house of the Chinese chart. That can be people, the moon, especially motherhood, moon, and Pluto, death. So I'm hoping not. I'm hoping there's nothing terrible happening with this particular maybe mycoplasmic pneumonia. And mycoplasma, being a bacteria, needs to respond to antibiotics. And if a strain emerges, it's antibiotic resistance, and then that's going to be a real big deal in China. So we'll hopefully not see that, that's for sure. Well, let's all pray for that not to be the case. All right, anything else I'd say about the sky before we head into all signs? With Venus moving through Scorpio and making that connection to Mercury, I want to give you a flavor of that connection. Wait, hang on. From my favorite astrologer, Renn Butler's book, The Archetypal Universe. So we're going to talk about that, the asteroid Quaoar, and how that may play out this week with that Mercury Quaoar conjunction. And of course, just when you have your book not handy, because I just had it all ready, it just disappeared. Oh, here it is. It's under my makeshift recording stand, standing in a window while I'm traveling to Georgia. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about Mercury and Venus in this flow, okay? From The Archetypal Universe by Renn Butler. Here's what he says about Mercury in a positive relationship to Venus. Happy and playful thoughts. Yay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Harmonious and friendly communications, gifts of agreements and compromise. So I'm hoping agreement and compromise can be something good coming out of this situation with Ukraine, Russia, or, Gaza, Palestine / Israel. Fun discussions about relationships and culture and the lighter side of life. Okay. And then he also goes on to say lighthearted living, happy thoughts, harmonious communications, friendly banter, gracious words, reassuring talks with friends, verbal connections, the morning routine of coffee, reading the newspaper, pleasant discussions, and good meals, noticing how good things taste, fun conversations about relationships, culture, and art, beauty, intellectual beauty, a love of ideas, fun ideas, enjoyment of the details, curiosity, interest, amusement, laughter, and friendly humor, affectionate appreciation, terms of endearment. And there's a quote, he gave her a look, you could have poured he gave her a look you could have poured on a waffle. That's a good quote. Enjoyable trips. Yes, Mercury likes to travel. And Venus loves her leisure travel as well. So enjoyable trips, beautiful scenery, pleasant sights, social media, personal ads, greeting cards, gifts of politeness, diplomacy, agreement, compromise. A soft answer turneth away wrath. A soft answer turneth away wrath. Oh my God. But we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about the asteroid Quaoar mixed up in that friendly sky Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for your sign, because it's going to play in a specific house, so it's going to have different meanings than all the general stuff. And then Neptune is a god of addiction. There's a square to the sun coming up. It's really hard energy this Saturday, Sunday. The sun can be about the part of addiction, confusion, delusion, illusion, misrepresentation of facts, spin cycle, spin doctoring, misinformation, but also like the purposeful misinformation, right? Lobbing some untruth into the world purposefully. With the sun square on the weekend, it can be a world leader or a government of some kind, putting some kind of untrue spin into something in the news cycle, especially the news cycle, because Mercury is talking to Neptune in a square in a sextile during the week, and he can bring news to the world through that spin cycle problem of a sun moving through Sag, a sign that can be associated with war. All right, and international community squaring Neptune, right? The spin doctor in Pisces. So here we go. When it's a difficult relationship between Sun and Neptune, in particular, Renn Butler, in his wonderful book, The Archetypal Universe, says the following: the shadow qualities can be self-deception, escapism, dissolved feelings of self-hurt and certainty, lack of purpose or direction, a potential for psychic inflation, and also he mentions addiction. Yeah, we did that. Self-deception, blind spots in perception, and self-made gurus. I think it's really about a government spin cycle on current news stories that's going to be trying to lob into the public next weekend. And anyone who has half a brain will go, I don't think so. I'll give you an example. Did anyone really believe that Russia blew up the Nord Stream pipeline when that was given to the world as the explanation for the Nord Stream pipeline being blown up? I certainly didn't. Did anyone think a lab leak was, parsimony? The most likely suggestion is that there's a viral outbreak in Wuhan, where they're researching a type of virus that is a kind that is rampaging through China. Did anyone not think that would be the logical and most obvious way that is probably true? So that, yeah, the spin doctors out there creating all this spin and anti-spin and changing the narrative so that the people don't look at what's obvious, like what's obviously in front of your face. So there may be something, look to the news cycle, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where you're going to see some kind of world leader or government body coming up with some spin on something. And you're going to look at it if you have, kind of like an intellect, and you go, does that make sense? Does that seem true? Or you're not. You're going to drink the Kool-Aid or whatever. It's up to you. In your own life, it won't look like a news story. It'll look like some area of your life where you could overindulge in alcohol or substance abuse, escapism. You could find yourself really kind of hitting a wall, maybe around something that is to do with getting into a deeper place of connection to God, and just struggling to find your connection to the divine. Because Neptune can be that unconditional love, oceanic consciousness, enlightenment as well. And the sun can be your own soul, the soul energy of the soul, wanting to mesh into to dissolve, to become one with everything, but in a square, not finding that to be very easy at all. So then we move to drugs, escapism, overindulgence and stuff that it gives us a timeout from reality, right? Timeout from reality, sun square Neptune. So just be careful, and be very careful about overdoing escapist substances during the weekend, if I was all of us. All right, so let's get going and talk about the sky for your sign. Let me de-annotate. So annotate, and I'm going to end the annotation, which I swear I'm always have a hard time with this software. So let me just figure it out. Annotation emptied. Clear the drawings, get rid of the annotation. Before we do all signs, I want to tell you what this particular software says about Quaoar, because it's not my most used piece of, it's not my thing, basically. It is Pam Gregory's thing. She loves Quaoar and all the trans-Neptunians and the Kuiper belt, because Pam Gregory is one of those astrologers, bless her soul, who's into the ascension of humanity and that kind of astrology. And you often see Quaoar used in that context. So, where are you? Quaoar. Doesn't help that Neptune's traveling with Pandora. Remember Pandora's box, all the ills that befell the world? Neptune tends to be about viral illnesses and plagues and waterborne illnesses as well, unfortunately, like cholera, which can be breaking out maybe in Gaza as we speak. So Pandora, the ills that befell the world, murder, homicide, pain, suffering, illness, and plagues. It was Neptune already associated with that stuff, especially waterborne illness. It's probably going to be the news of a outbreak, unfortunately, of a cholera or some kind of dysentery in the rampaging through Gaza, if it's not already here. Okay, so Lori is now looking for Quaoar, who's sitting with Mercury in the back end of her software, and there's Quaoar. And this is what this software, and the person who writes it is Roderick Kidman, likes to delineate it as. You can Google Quaoar and find out more. Quaoar, Quaoar. It's asteroid or celestial body, I should say, number 5,000. It is a creation god of the Tonga people. You can create a new system without any precedent, being creative and making new rules, building new structures rather than simply following what already exists. Oh, so it's more of that than sort of the collective tribe stuff. So creating a new system that doesn't exist, making new rules, building new structures, and not following what already exists. So we're in our lives Monday to Wednesday. Will Mercury, Venus help us break out of some way of doing things that we've done, that it's no same old, right? No same old allowed. So that's what I'm going to say. That's probably about. Now, I'm going to take a quick pause before we do all signs. I'm going to show you the sky as we rotate the wheel. If you are new to my channel, please give me a try. I put out 22 to 26 videos per month, and I do live premieres in which I sit and chat with everyone watching the video. So if you're in the live premiere now watching and you're one of my regulars, thank you so very much. I always forget to put some of you in there. Psychic Readings with Rose, Bold and Beautiful Tarot, Herbal Empress, Ashley Sending Light, Boiling Frogs. Oh, you guys have such great channel names. I'm serious. And Linda Calder, LA Teller, and more. All of the regulars misbehaving. Thank you for being a part of my crew. I get to know you guys. I get to answer your questions in the live premiere, and I so appreciate that. And if you're new to my channel, that just means that I post these videos that I pre-record, and I'm in the chat room talking with you about the content as it unfolds. And we're creating community and getting to know each other and connect about the passion we all have for astrology and how the sky can help us navigate our life, right? And find more authentic movement toward what is already being opened up for us in each of our lives, and move in the direction of that flow, and rather than swimming upstream or moving against the wind, as I say, just finding that place of ease in life by using the navigational tool of astrology. So hope that makes sense to you. Let's go ahead and do the all signs. We're going to start with Aries as always, and let me pull up the Aries chart. So Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. This is the week where the Monday to Wednesday vibe is really sweet. You can see that Venus is in Scorpio with strategic Athena, lending a sort of narrative that what Venus is trying to do as she flows into her applied stance towards Mercury is create some kind of conversation this week about either about your occult and magical stories, or deeper sexual intimacy could be Venus here, but also about your money. And this is your taxes and your insurance and your rebates from taxes, or inheritance monies, or money that you get from royalties or passive income. Like I make ad revenue on YouTube. I'm an Aries sun and moon, and that's passive income, royalty income, ad monies. So there's Venus and strategy around that kind of money that comes in more chunks and doesn't require like dollars for hours or service or paychecks or salaries. And as these two are collaborating, it looks like Monday through Wednesday, there's a conversation about doing something new, outside the rules, not the same old way it's been done before, regarding the way you operate, Aries, in your career and reputation zone. This is literally Mercury trying to help you power up with Pluto to some new level of commercial, authentic success that can be buying, selling, speaking, ideating at the top of the sky. And so this is really about your work and your money in a lot of ways, but I wonder, there's a flame of devotion in the house of the home. This is literally tending the hearth flame, spending time in the kitchen, gathering, in a sacred way from the homestead. And, putting a little bit of Star Maiden in there. You could also be looking for this week, willing to persevere and persist in both doing your career and your home in balance, really in balance. What needs to be tended to in the home? Where do you need to light a fire and maybe sit up literally cozy and snuggled up by a fire, but it can also just be spend some time in the cooking zone, spend some time around the kitchen, but also don't neglect, your career. It's a both, it's an and by breaking away from the way you've done your career before, you may be able to open up some greater financial goodness and also some greater satisfaction in your home. Now, here's the interesting part of this too. I mean, Venus here is saying, do it in a Martian way, right? She's in Scorpio, so that's Mars's sign. And so this is also kind of like maybe Mars would say something like, can you amplify your career, money, success story with a balance in your home life by ninth house matters? And in ninth house is a lot of different meanings, but it can be about foreign travel, foreign shores, but also about things to do with the deeper meaning of your life. Dharma, being on point, following your true north. Those may be themes that you're really looking at squarely this week. As the week progresses and we move toward the end of the month, the week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you'll find that Neptune square the sun becomes really prominent. And now don't forget, I'm not covering Mercury retrograde. I'm not covering the lunation because I've got two separate videos for all signs out there. So as Friday, Saturday, Sunday shows up, we can see that there is this difficult conversation between the sun and Neptune. And ultimately, this can lead you to perhaps overdo something, indulge or escape from reality, because Neptune in the 12th house can definitely be about those addictions. And it's also being pressured from a sun in the 9th house. It could literally be that some authority figure, a professor, a teacher, a spiritual guide, is really squaring off with your desire for escapism or enchantment, when both things are Neptunian. You just might have to come to terms with a moment in time on the weekend where maybe a travel plan is being squared off and you can't get that thing to work the way you want. Maybe you're looking at this idea of a father figure, solar figure, pushing back against something that you really wish to imagine, dream into, or unfortunately escape from. So it's a little bit of a weird sky for you during the weekend. If I had advice for you, it would be, if a trip is like not working properly, that square there, just maybe take a break and don't go on that journey, because we have travel in that 9th house, right? And the sun squaring with Neptune, finally. I mean, the sun rules your house of authentic enjoyment, not just the temporary sensual pleasures of life. So you may wonder if the sun could say something to you like, is this really that enjoyable and meaningful? And is that really what you want to do or experience on the weekend? And you may double cross that off your list of, nah, it's just a pleasure. It's not enjoyable at a deep, authentic place of enjoyment, joie de vivre, and vitality. All right, let's move on to Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. You're having this moment of Monday through Wednesday with Venus coming into flow to Mercury and Quaoar. And it's something like, in your primary significant love and committed relationship, or how you approach your audience, marketplace, and public, you would like to perhaps achieve a frivolous, lighthearted flow that also allows you to do something in a different way and break the rules a bit in order to create something new in your 9th house. Now, your 9th house is a lot of things. This could be a breakaway journey or trip with a significant love partner, and you're going to do something completely outside the box that you've ever done before. This can be also a change regarding your academic or university setting environments or legal and court matters. If it's a legal matter with the court, you're looking at resolution, compromise, and contractual goodness coming through courts and legal documents and matters. But if it's about your professor or your academic environment, you're coming to some very positive agreement regarding matters to do with those things, academics, higher education. Venus here in your 7th house can make you very popular with the audience and marketplace. She gives you a bit of a glow up with your clients and customers and that kind of thing. And it also means that you cannot just be glowing up. You're very strategic as well with Athena, or strategic glow ups, but also Mercury can also point you toward really diving a little deeper into what brings you soul satisfaction in the way you approach your audience, client, and marketplace. I think that the end of the week with that square to Neptune coming Friday through Sunday is going to feel alike. You may want to really go into some, deeper look at how your social life with other people, your friends and people you go out and have parties with or just hang with, or your social groups of belonging are not really working for something in your life, especially if it involves self-undoing or addiction or deeper, darker forces of the eighth house. The sun here can be some sort of question mark about your psychological motives for what drives you to escapism, to overindulgence in substances that are addictive, or in terms of even mental health challenges that you really want to get a grip on. But it really connects to your social life up here a lot. So, honestly, you may just reframe how you interconnect with those groups of belonging. Maybe it's time to join AA, a much safer group of belonging than the party hardy club hopping group or something like that. So, eighth house is also other people's chunky money that you can get your hands on: taxes, tax rebates, insurances, mortgages, financing. And maybe somebody's given you the wrong impression. This can be very manipulative. Is there someone you think is your friend or ally or benefactor who's going to help you with a loan, a mortgage, a refi, or something to do with money, and they're not representing the truth? And you're maybe having to look more squarely Friday, Saturday, Sunday at what may be a spin cycle or in a misrepresentation of facts regarding money that you wish to procure, deal with, or handle. That's more, again, don't buy stock under this, oh my God, there's a great stock, you got to jump into it. No, do not buy stock on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It would not be the best move. Do not refinance your property believing that the lender is authentically telling you it's true. There's stuff to be watchful for about that kind of money and some misrepresentation Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. Well, it is a sky that gives you a flow between Venus and your sixth house of work and health and strategy with Athena, to Mercury in the chunky money house, but also the house of secrets. Possibly, however, because Mercury does like to spill secrets, you also may be just experiencing this as a time in which your work and your longer term financial situation, taxes, how you save your money, how you invest your money, how you procure money like passive revenue, royalty income, is going to be given a kind of Venusian glow up. And because you have a rule breaking, do it your own way, not same old, you may be, as a Gemini sun, moon, and rising, concocting something new, a new strategy around the longer term situation around work and resources from the eighth house. Again, passive income, structuring your taxes a new way. I keep talking about this because my progressed son's in Gemini. I got to get in touch with a tax accountant before the end of the year to talk about if I need to incorporate next year, because taxes are lower when you do. And so that's really probably me actually emailing or phone calling the accountant Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. So it's just very literal to be more strategic around work and money, because the sixth house is health, especially connected to things we choose to do that improves our wellness instead of being sick. There's a lot going on, and you may be finding a new strategy, Athena, around health Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, connected to something very deep in the level of your psychology and unwinding something to improve your health. And at the end of the week, that Sun square Neptune is gnarly, but it can be some disagreement or pressure from a client, a business partner, a significant love partner, the audience. That's where the sun is traveling. Mars is bringing those trolls out in droves for us Gemini sun, moon, and rising. I'm a Gemini progressed sun, and oh man, ever since Mars got into Sag, the trolls are out in force on my channel, in my comments. And anyway, and so what's going on here is that could be that Mars solar energy, a really gnarly troll, a really angry client, a really difficult and aggressive energy coming from your significant other, as it squares off with things that are happening in the career and reputation space. Neptune does rule all the videography platforms like YouTube. I'd say for some of you, it's just a really bad troll moment. For some of you, there's a really challenging energy coming this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, from a significant other in your life, love relationship style. And because it's like Neptune is square, there can be a sense of not really understanding what's going on here. You know what I mean? Like not getting a clear handle on it. But Neptune at the top of the chart is spiritualizing and dissolving and beautiful energy in the house of career, and Saturn stabilizing and holding it into tangible form. But there's some kind of sharp object pointed at you, Gemini, that's angled to your career and reputation. Someone may slander you, someone may misrepresent you, someone may lie about you in public. These are the things that could be coming through the sky. On Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this too shall pass, right? Just be aware it's not going to last. It's just a moment in time. Now we move into Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising people, and this is looking like a energy of Venus applying to Mercury in a beautiful flow. And the conversation that they're having here is something like, can you find more pleasure, fun, and joy in your life, or harmony and peace with your children, as it applies as well to your marriage partners or your public and audience. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, this Monday through Wednesday can really be a glow up in your entrepreneurial business as you reach out to your audience or clients or customers. But this also can look something like, oh my God, a beautiful ladybug landed. A ladybug landed on the window outside just for you, Cancers. I don't hope you know that ladybugs are lucky. They're also connected to Mary Magdalene and that whole archetype. So this square, this flow between the two of them can also be a legal contract connected to a creative project, like a book, a song, or something that you've written. You're breaking some rules, though. You or your partner are breaking rules with your Mercury Quaoar and doing things in an innovative way as you approach an audience, a legal contract, or your relationship with your partner. It's really good for frivolous and fun and lighthearted sex. I'm going to just tell you. Venus in Scorpio, of course, goes a little deeper, she's a bit more magical, or she's a bit more maybe kinky here. But nonetheless, if you're in a relationship, this could really glow up the fun in the bedroom or the fun in the romance as well. This is a lovely Monday to Wednesday as well for anything to do with your children. And, you may be having important conversations with them in some significant way that also benefits their lives as well as yours, or helping your children strategize on something they wish to accomplish and making agreements, seventh house, with them, but also using strategy and rule breaking outside the box energy. You've got that Vestal flame in the house of you are tending a sacred devotion to yourself, right? And now you're applying that self-devotion, self-love to your children, to your lover, to your significant relationships as well. All right, the square to Pluto, Neptune is like, okay, what's this challenge you're facing? You're facing some kind of challenge from the work and health house and the pets house of your sixth house to Neptune in the ninth house. It can be a work opportunity connected to foreign countries, academic environments, or book publishing situations. Don't trust what you're seeing Friday through Sunday, may not be accurate. Don't trust the boss. Don't trust the veterinarian. Just wait it out here. Neptune rules drugs, and this is a Sun Mars in the house of pets. Just be careful that, there's a medicine or drugs that you might want to apply to a pet that maybe someone in authority, Neptune, the ninth house expert, tells you should do, but use your judgment. If you feel that your pet shouldn't have that medication, maybe you're right. Double think it. Confusion can be, fogginess can be here. If you want to travel, especially to foreign places for work, this is also be careful about the structure of that trip and make sure that you actually have, clarity. And you're not like told you're going to, hey, take this trip to, so-and-so, because we have a 5-star resort where we put all of our people we hire. Double check the 5-star resort. It's not sitting next to like a sewage facility or something. Something about this could be wrong. You may not sewage because we're in water up with Neptune. Something about the representation of opportunities to travel for work or career endeavors is probably not quite what it seems. So be careful there too. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign, Venus and sextile between Venus and Mercury this week, Monday through Wednesday, is going to have, potentially you're going to have some more fun in your home, beautify your home, buy some art for your home, prettify your home, paint your home, do something like that strategically in your home. At the same time, Mercury says, oh, and by the way, it's really good for your pets. It's really good for your health. It's really good for your daily work environment. So you may make changes in your home that facilitate better flow and ease in work and health, better situations for your pet. Like any kind of story, right? You could be like, oh my gosh, my dog needs a larger kennel and I'm going to paint it a beautiful color, or we need to create a better backyard for the dog to run in or the cat to hang out in or something like that. Also, Leo, the energy here can be about rental and tenancy situations, and this could be a golden opportunity to sign a new lease or to rent a property out that you already have. If you have any financial debt, particularly connected to the home you have, like maybe mortgages or stuff like that, this is an opportunity maybe to have a positive refinancing or a change in the situation regarding money and tenancies, or money and loans and mortgages. And you could have some really good news coming through that really reassures you about your health as well during this week of Monday to Wednesday. And then also you have that square on the weekend, the Friday through Sunday of, oh my goodness, Neptune having a difficult conversation with one of your children or your lover or something like that. So, Mars, aggression, Sun, Wuhan, conquer. And it is the house of your children. And it's about potentially money and confusion about money, especially, and uncertainty and misrepresentation about money, lies about money. Money, now, because this is a house of loans, there's going to be really practical. Does your child want a loan from you, or have you loaned money? And now there's this difficult conflictual energy coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday around money like that. It can be also confusion regarding shared resources with your marriage partner or somebody else, and some conflict about how that money is to be purposed. The fifth house can also be about your creativity, your creative projects, your art, and your entrepreneurial endeavors. And now the Sun, something you're creating there, your own soul is at work there, having some conflict around finances connected to your creative endeavors. I wouldn't want to also get into entangled conversations with my significant love partner, marriage type partner about money here, but that can happen because there's a possibility of misrepresentation around financial stuff. And that's because Neptune's up there with Saturn, who rules the house of marriage. So there's really have to look at those conversations with your marriage type partner and your children, and difficult misrepresentational energies Friday through Sunday. And lastly, Neptune in the eighth house may bring you in touch with dead people, visionary trance states, and magical things. But be careful, because the square to the Sun, well, the Sun is in the house of pleasures. So be careful that some of your pleasures don't give you the hangover from hell or the consequence from hell because you indulged in pleasures with a passion, Mars, and you're feeling really terrible Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. This is a sweet sky, and we've got a flow here between your third house and Mercury in your fifth house. And that Venus in your third can open up an opportunity for a beautiful trip. It looks like some Virgos may have an opportunity to take a leisure trip, like a little shorter distance travel, maybe a short distance travel connected to a relationship, a significant other. But there is a travel story going on here. And if you wish to travel under this influence of Monday through Wednesday, it looks very good, or even just plan that trip during that time. Venus in your third house can really bring you to socialize more with your neighbors this week, Monday through Friday, or in the local neighborhood. And you also could say that you're looking at how to have that social life with the neighbors and neighborhood and all of that in a way that says, oh, Mercury's like, this is fun, but it's also, we're doing it differently. We're breaking a rule. And we always go out and party, but now we're going to all play in a Monopoly. We always do it this way. Let's try it another way. That's definitely a possibility. Your children are your fifth house, and therefore conversations with your children go very well, especially emails, phone calls, and long distance stuff connected to the third. Or you just get some good news that your children, one of your children, adult children, are coming to visit you, or they want you, or you can go visit them or travel to see a child. Exactly. If you're single, or even if you're with somebody, it looks good for romantic energy connected to journeys and travel, or enjoyment, enjoyable romantic outings, okay, in the local neighborhood. If you're an entrepreneur, this is great. Venus is in the house of your online world. You're being strategic. You're breaking the rules in your creative projects and output in your entrepreneurial business, and you're succeeding because of it. I don't know about that square though to Neptune. So let's talk about the Sun in the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This could definitely look like a real difficult challenge in your home life relative to your significant marriage type relationships. It also could be legal contractual challenges to do with your home. You know what I mean? So like your mortgage, your bank, and stuff like that, or just things like you hired a contractor to fix your home. Mars is down there, renovations, and and you look at the contract and you realize it's not representing what you asked for and you're paying for it anyway. There's something like contractual and legal agreements bringing tension in the sky, and you might have to really sit with whether or not this is a story that is like fine print, read legal contracts to do with anything regarding your home or moving your home, construction in the home, anything like that. As well, Virgo, you could be fighting with somebody in your home. That's just like a Mars in the fourth house, conflict in the home, mortal combat in the home with a solar figure, a male, and Wuhan's down there, so it makes it even more gnarly. Who's in charge, right? Who's going to win the battle? And it squares the marriage or long-term committed house. So this is, Saturn is going to try for the next couple of years to really stabilize your relationship, but he'll knock it out if it's not the right one for you. And right now, this is a very tense sky, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And because Neptune's involved, it can also have to do with illusion, delusion, addictions. Does your partner have a mental health challenge? Are they addicted to something? Or are you the one with the problem? This is a tense energy. Watch Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tension in the home with a significant other as well. Okay. Libra, sun, moon, and rising sign. It is a story in the sky for you. Oh, if you're in the live premiere, hit my like button. I forgot to remind you guys. It does help the channel grow to hit the like button during the premiere. I so appreciate you guys. So basically, Libras are looking at a story where the sky suggests a beautiful flow Monday through Wednesday. This is an energy of good energy. It's lighthearted, and it's about your money, Libra. It's like you could have like a raise, a promotion. Venus is with strategic Athena, also victory in a financial situation connected to your career because you've been devoting yourself to your work. You've been putting a lot of effort. You're resilient. And you've been putting the effort in with that a star maiden, and now you're going to get some kind of yay, but also the flow to breaking the rules and doing it your way and changing away from same old Mercury in the house of home, property, and real estate. Now, a couple of thoughts, because the fourth house is ancestors and childhood and family of origin. You may be breaking some family of origin rules about how one should make money and succeed in your career, and you're doing really well Monday through Wednesday because of that. But also Mercury here can be about property, land, home, and real estate. And it may be a call of the sky to say things that you're doing in and from your home to do with land, property, and real estate are also giving you more financial wellness Monday through Wednesday. You also could have some communications in and from your home, conversations, legal contracts, and deals that are also connected to possessions. And of course, that could be negotiating to possess a new sofa, a bed, a car, or a new home. Finally, the Neptune square to the sun can be very intense energy Friday through Sunday. This could put you in a position where the sun is all about maybe your online world, your short distance travel, your neighborhoods, skills-based teaching and learning, and Mars, aggression, passion, intensity. Mars likes to travel there, but you're having a problem with your work, right? Neptune in the house of the work area. So this looks like a challenge between travel and work agendas and some confusion about what's the best way to go. Sun in the third house with the moon, by the way, in this chart, but that's early on. But the sun down here might be about an authority figure in a work situation and some confusion or misrepresentation of the situation from that authority figure. So be cautious that when the boss tells you X, look for Y, just in case if you have a boss. Yeah, and Neptune in the sixth house can be about substance abuse, like hit the weed, hit the vape, hit the nicotine, hit the wine or something. And because that is an active axis for you at this time, Saturn's trying to stabilize any usage of substances that aren't good for you over the next 2.5 years. You're looking at this time where you may be really looking at some event in a local environment, like going out to the restaurant with friends or doing something in a social setting in the local environment, and having to really come up against some kind of just say no moment. Just say no. Good old Nancy Reagan. All right, Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. You have the sky where the Venus flows to Mercury in a very auspicious way. And this opens up a corridor of lighthearted goodness between your perception of the world as you embody Venus and are very charming, very likable, congenial, great time for a new haircut, fix your wardrobe. You're in your element. You're being very strategic about how you do that. Athena is there giving you the knowledge and wisdom to look good. And this flows to Mercury Monday to Wednesday in the third house. So if you have anything to do with writing projects, communications, websites, online world, things to do with, just social events with the locals in your neighborhood, or childhood friends, or even siblings, those look really good for you Monday through Wednesday. And you just carry that charm offensive with you wherever you go in your deeply mysterious Venusian sorceress way during the week ahead, whether you're a man or a woman. Now, because there's also this essence here of, the vessel flame up at the top of your ninth house, you're really leaning into a devotion to the meaning of life, the truest purpose for you, your true north, what you really want creatively, artistically, perhaps, etc. There is this moment, though, I would also pay attention to breaking the rules, doing it differently, writing a song that no one's done before, writing a book that no one's done before, going across genres and doing something different, building a website no one's done before, just breaking rules on how you want to do your social media, website, all that kind of stuff, or rule breaking social activities with your friends and neighbors. We don't care that there's a quiet hour at 10. We're keeping the party going. That could be that. I do think that, the square to Neptune on Friday to Sunday can look a lot like an opportunity that's financial, but it's not really what you think is what you get. Be really careful around financial opportunities that are too good to be true. Neptune in the house of money, luck, in the entrepreneurial and creative projects, and the sun with Mars in the second house of your earnings. This can be some kind of seemingly vocational opportunity or professional opportunity or money and work opportunity that has a misrepresentation of what you're getting. Like if you were an artist, I'd say don't sign that contract without doubling down on an entertainment lawyer or something, because you may be getting ripped off. And if it has to do with money that you're getting through entrepreneurial self-starter business directions, which can very well happen with Mars in the second right now, just be cautious. Your children, a financial, very difficult conversation with a child because of Neptune in the fifth house, and being careful with money and children stories as well. You're sharp-tongued right now. Mars is in the house of speech. And you could have some very intense conversations with your marriage partner, your lover or your children. All right, moving on to Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. We have this flowing, lighthearted sky with luck as Venus flows to Mercury. And this is Venus moving through your 12th house of foreign shores and lands, international revenue, self-undoing and addictions, hospitals, insane asylums. Venus is strategically oriented with Athena, and she's flowing to Mercury in your second house of money and earnings. Certainly, if you make money through international companies, revenue entities, payment processors with no borders like Stripe and PayPal, this is a moment that really glows you up early in the week. But it can also be an opportunity for a strategic or plan a trip to a foreign place, and because of Venus in the 12th house, or something coming through from a foreign female Monday through Wednesday. And it is flowing to that Mercury in your earnings and money house, and you're going to break the rules a bit and do it differently. What kind of new money strategy are you coming up with that involves, women from foreign places, or foreign travel, or foreigners in general? And it's really sweet for you at this time to look at that. Bed pleasures can belong to the 12th. Venus likes her bed pleasures when she's in the 12th. And so you might have some really lovely bed pleasures, and you're breaking the rules. But you're breaking the rules with Mercury in the second house. So I don't know if breaking the rules is because your love life involves, your bed pleasures involve money all of a sudden, or some kind of new speaking patterns, forbidden speech kind of vibe. Who knows? Just being playful. And the square to Neptune, well, Neptune is kind of like, confusing you. Sag has been trying to find your dream home since 2011. Saturn will help you find it by February of 26. And as this confusion around dissolving this in the home, right? You may have had a hard time with addictive substances, drinking too much wine, smoking too much weed or something in your home since 2011. I know a Sag for who this applies. And basically, you're coming to a square off with what is either addictions in the home, plumbing failures in the home, or confusion about where you should be in your home. And the sun is in the house of you. You are that solar energy, and you are going to battle with that Neptune. I say it's really, really trying to remedy a longer story here about what is Neptune doing in the fourth house. Are you in the wrong home for yourself? Are you confused about where you should live? Are you finding yourself escaping from reality or being into addictive substances in your time home alone, like the hidden alcoholic story, where no one knows how bad it really is for you or whatever. So you're kind of maybe going to try to break through, really, something like that this week. It's the best. That's how it looks to me. Yep, going to go with that. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign. The sky opens up a beautiful, lighthearted energy Monday through Wednesday with that Venus in your 11th house of good spirit. Now, this is a place where she can be very happy in social settings. And so there's more of a call Monday through Wednesday to be in a social environment with larger groups of belonging and to hang and spend some time, enjoying the company of people that you enjoy the company of, for example. But she can also bring you some money gains here, like a bit of a windfall, a winning ticket, some more financial goodness through your career space, favors from friends in high places who act like, a big bro or big sister. And this energy she's holding up in your 11th house is flowing directly to you as Mercury. It's your emails, your phone calls, and your text messages that you engage with friends, with allies, that can also open up a real nice vibe through to Wednesday that can improve your finances from your career mostly, but you can have a windfall vibe here too. And you might be very strategic around how you wish to have those conversations because you can be the one talking. You are Mercury, rule-breaking conversations, rule-breaking emails, rule-breaking negotiations, all right? Rule-breaking. You want to do it new. You want to do it different. You're doing something new and fresh. And with the vessel flame and good old star maiden, you're being perseverant and disciplined around your outreach to clients and audience and others, or there's a devotional flame in your marriage house with your significant other, and you're really there's an area of decision to make the relationship more devotional perhaps, and the devotional flame is flowing to Venus. Can the relationship with your significant other thrive in a sense of being more fortified this week, Monday through Wednesday, by choosing to do social things that bring enjoyment to you? Usually the 11th would be with other people. Okay. Fun times with other people. The square to the sun square Neptune is going to be perhaps about a challenge around a travel opportunity or some kind of problem you're having in your online world or with a younger sibling. This is where Neptune is, siblings in general, even coming into the fray. Now, the sun in the 12th can be a male figure in a hospital setting, and Mars an accident or injury. And it does connect to Neptune in a sibling house. So you could hear about one of your siblings is going to be having a hard time because they're not doing well, they're sick, and they're in the hospital for some reason. That will be out Friday through Sunday. The other way this can play out is, the whole 12th house thing is where you're self-sabotaging your life, right? Mars is trying to help clean that up for you right now. But when he squares off too with that sun to Neptune, it's like, how can you break through this fog? And Friday through Sunday, fog around escapist or, addictive tendencies, especially as it applies to third house situations. Again, that's often our local environment, our neighborhood environment. Neptune down here can be very much about your social media as well. And revenue from foreign shores and lands through your social media engagements may be having a bit of a confusing moment Friday through Sunday if you make money in that way at all. And lastly, if you want to take a trip, both 12 and 3 can involve travel, especially outside the bounds of your natal country where you were born, foreign shores. And so therefore, there may be a confusion and not certain here what's really true about an opportunity for travel. Make sure you clarify, because eventually Mars will square Neptune and will clarify for you in a couple of weeks. Try Friday through Sunday to get the fine print details ironed out in any kind of opening for some foreign shore travel, especially if it involves anything to do with work. All right, especially that. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. I am one of you. This is our story. We have this lovely social, lighthearted energy Monday through Wednesday as Venus is applying to Mercury. This is about your career space, your reputation space, how the world sees you. She's up there trying to give you a glow up right now. She's strategic with Athena, but there's rule-breaking Quaoar and Mercury together in the 12th. So first of all, revenue from foreign shores and foreign lands, Payment processors like Stripe and PayPal can be very much a part of what you're looking at Monday through Wednesday. But if there is an opportunity for travel, I'll tell you, Mercury in the 12th will bring it on, but it is a bit of a rule breaking energy. So to do it your own way, to travel in a way you haven't traveled before, take a spaceship or a teleporter. And, but Venus can be helping you plan a trip connected to things that are also going to help you in your career. So it could be a professional trip as well. The 12th house matters. Mercury here could bring a dream or a vision or a meditative insight through the sky Monday through Wednesday that's going to really collaborate because it's breaking through the same old in how you approach your success, your reputation, and your your visibility in your career. Especially with Venus, it's more like being the starlet or the diva up there. But Athena rules strategy, so you're doing a lot of strategic energy as well as wisdom and knowledge. You may be trying to figure out how to be more wise and knowledgeable in the way you show up in the career and workspace. Finally, also, I think that possibly you may be experiencing that Mercury in the 12th house as some new ideas that are rule breaking around how you wish to break free of any kind of sabotaging patterns that have held you back from the greatest success you can possibly have in your career. This is going to be Monday through Wednesday. Then we have that square on the weekend, Friday through Sunday, Sun square Pluto. Ooh, yeah. So Sun square Neptune, Sun square Neptune. All right, so Neptune, second house of things we put in our mouth. Neptune, since 2011, it has made a lot of Aquariuses wonder if they eat too much Haagen-Dazs, drink too much wine, smoke too much, cigarettes or whatever you got going there. It's not great for that, but Saturn's been here since last year and will stay there till 26 to stabilize and get us out of that wine lovers middle way, get us to the wine lovers middle way, get us to not want wine on the daily after work with dinner. And so that's kind of a story I'm making up for myself. Now, here's the deal. This is a square from the sun to the god of addiction, illusion, delusion, and the house of earnings and foods we ingest. So if you have some kind of vision about how you're going to really open up the floodgates of greater career gains, that's the 11th house. Really look twice at it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You may not see it clearly. Sun in your 11th house is trying to bring you greater career gains. Neptune's in a money house. Saturn's very realistic and trying to stabilize things from the eye of the wise, realistic, sage-like Saturn. And somehow you may be overinflating or somebody's overinflating something. So, the 11th house doesn't have to be about you. It can be like a friend or somebody, a benefactor who wants to open up a quarter or professional advancement for you. And you might look at it and think it seems like too good to be true. And it probably is. So that's Friday through Saturday. For me, I can think it could be like someone wants me to represent their product. I'm always approached every week with some new affiliate sponsor. Do I want to promote their product on the internet? And usually I say no, right? So if I get an offer Friday through Sunday, I'll really look twice at that. I probably won't take it. Conflict with an elder sibling who, sun up there, or a conflict with a solar figure in your social circles could show up here, especially male with Mars up there. Someone in your larger social groups who may be a male may really come at you hard on Friday through Sunday something to do with financial matters, basically. Then last but not least, best and always best, is Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Now, what a flirtatiously fun week to start off with is Venus in a sextile to Mercury from your house of foreign shores, foreign lands, and travel, academic environments, visas and passports, legal matters, courts, judges, academics, did I say that? And book publishing. A lot goes on up there, and third marriages. Venus is flowing in a strategic way toward Mercury, who wants to break the rules and do it differently with Quaoar in your 11th house. Okay, rule-breaking fun time socializing with a female, planning a trip that's going to bring a great enjoyment, finding yourself looking at the opportunity, Mercury communications, to negotiate a deal or a contract for something to do with academics, foreign lands, or book publishing. You may also be thinking with this Mercury Quaoar energy that an elder sibling may be involved in some kind of shift in your reality, or some kind of friend who wants to be an ally to you. And also you may make more money. Your career gains may uptick here through some kind of international exposure, some kind of opportunity for travel, some kind of connection to the world of publishing, etc. This also can look like an opportunity for a journey, leisure travel, romantic travel that you may actually take or plan Monday through Wednesday, either one. It can even be you can even feel it earlier on the weekend actually, because Venus is getting into place, to connect with that Mercury. So there's travel plans for sociable enjoyment and leisure travel. And you're like really trying to light a flame in what brings you joy. And that's going to be a big story for you over the next few weeks with the Vestal flame here. You're looking for what brings you authentic satisfaction and enjoyment. And it does apply in this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to romance and to potentially travel plans. And then at the end of the week, Friday through Sunday, there is a square to Neptune from the sun. This is your career and your reputation, where you have the sun traveling in Sagittarius, and it's going to square off to your own ability to delude yourself, to escape from reality, to be dissolving away, into the nether worlds, because you have Saturn here since 2023, March, and he'll be here till February of 2020. You're going to be no longer lost in a fog of confusion, and you're going to be becoming more solid over the next few years, more determined, perseverant, solid, and realistic about yourself and life. And I think that this energy right here, the soft touch of, well, the square, I mean, is a part of that larger story. So the sun squares Neptune from the place of your reputation and career and your visible reputation. And this can literally be like some kind of come down to earth. Let's look at this story from a more realistic perspective. I'm deluding myself. However, if you have a boss or a hierarchy and you're working in that setting, that can be the boss being very aggressively targeting at you and sort of cutting through some kind of wistful make-believe rose-colored glasses you've been having around your performance, your career, and your reputation, and especially around the earnings story, as the sun rules your earnings house. And so you're having a come to realism moment, and yet it can be very effectively bringing you down to earth in a very good way, really supporting a longer game of growth in your finances. Okay, father figures, sun in the 10th, similar pressure from a father figure squaring off at your fogginess around reality, money, and your direction in life, perhaps. I sound like I'm talking to all Pisces, right? Like, I was like, isn't that what everyone Pisces is like? Not necessarily. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope this was useful. This week ahead is a good week. I'm looking forward to it myself. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Check out my 2024 All Signs bundle. You can also buy a la carte each sign for 25 bucks, but why bother? Why not get all of them for only $59? And that's 90 minutes times 12. That's a lot of content for your sun and rising, and share with friends and family. Whew, I'm now going to go down and make myself some breakfast. Thank you for listening. Recording this for my Patreon community on December 9th. You get it in the public on Monday. If you want to join my Patreon community for $5 a month, there's a promotion going on. See the details in the description box, but you get 3 free courses with me. Why not jump aboard? Quit after $5 investment. You don't like it and leave, don't resubscribe. It's a month-to-month subscription. You can quit anytime. Early access ad-free, up to 3 Zoom meetings with me a month, depending on your tier. All right. Ciao, ciao. Have a wonderful week ahead.